come back on.
Yeah, please.
100% we will. 100% we will. Yeah. I'm Rick. I'm genuinely a fan now.
All right, good.
I don't say that lightly. I'm genuinely a fan now.
Yeah, fun. I got a couple of English friends now.
Yeah, bro.
I really like your style.
I'm gassed.
Oh, cool.
I really like your style. I'm not gonna lie.
He doesn't do this.
I don't do this. I really like your style. Bro.
Hey, you know what? I think I just found our cold open. All right, please.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. Water?
I would love a water. Yes, please.
Room temp or cold?
Room temp. Thank you for asking.
Of course. You both want water?
Oh yes, please.
Room temp or cold?
Oh, thank you. Room temp. Yeah, thank you.
I thanked him as well.
Yeah, man.
No one ever asked.
Yeah, facts. It's always cold.
I keep my water room temp. I can always add ice.
Fair. That's a good point.
I keep my ice in the freezer, but those are the two options.
Put my glasses here.
All right, I'm gonna focus you. Say Oogie Pops.
Oogie Pops.
Wait, I get it. Okay. Say Oogie Pops again.
Oogie
Pops
Pops
again.
Please raise your right hand and shake it. I just want to make sure the focus is good. Left hand. All right. One more camera, and then you guys can get out of here.
All right, perfect.
What did you just do? What podcast did you just do?
We did one called
Don't Trip.
Don't Trip? It was like 10 minutes from now.
Shit.
Don't trip.
Hey! Theme music. All right, cool.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
I need to get your water in.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's actually why I had you boys here today to talk about water.
Okay.
I can talk about water for a while, actually.
I know. Tell me your stance on sea salts.
I'm preferable to like a pink Himalayan salt.
Interesting. Over a Celtic
Yeah.
or a Celtic? I'm sorry if I don't mean to be offensive.
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
You're black. So, what is your stance on this stuff? Oh, let's check the levels.
That's jokes.
Can I hear you sing something? Oh wait. Can we hear you sing something?
I can't sing. I can't sing. I can't sing.
Well, you're not going to be able to with that attitude. May I hear you?
No, you may not.
Okay.
Snap! This episode is brought to you by Fantasy DraftKings Sports.
Presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports.
Snap! This episode's brought to you by Snap Kings. What is it?
DraftKings Fantasy Sports.
DraftKings Fantasy Sport.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code ShxtsOff because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Age King, Draft King, a developing with the developing. You're developing a third world country with the Penelope.
Thank you, Harlan. This episode is also sponsored by Helix. Helix is offering 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TYSO and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts meow. Push it on the cat, go to the meow pun instead of now. Brilliant. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/TYSO for 10% off. So let's just let the audience in on a little bit of a secret. Mm-hmm. We don't know each other.
We really
You
don't.
don't.
We don't know each other at all. This is the first time I think a situation like this has ever come into my lap.
Yeah?
No pun intended. Which was, you guys said, "Hey, we're coming into the States. Want to do a podcast?" And you said, "Fan of what you do." Mm-hmm. Who wrote that? Thank you.
James.
Did I believe it? I don't know.
Do you want me to prove it?
No. No. But I did think because I've spent a lot of time in England.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Whereabouts?
I used to date a lady who lived in why am I not forgetting? It's east.
East of England?
East London. In London.
Okay.
Did I say England or London?
No, you might.
I'm
to be fair,
forgetting
you might
this-
have said London. To be
Yeah,
fair,
I'm forgetting
No,
the
you said
place.
England. Actually,
You said England, so I'm just
London.
clarifying. Okay,
London
East
is
London.
okay,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
East
London is
London.
all.
Yeah.
Cool.
And nope, West
West London.
Posh girl.
Okay.
I don't think so, but I guess she lives in a posh place.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the well off.
Could you fix this? Would you mind? I'll do it.
Oh, this.
Oh, is it blocking? Oh, that's okay.
Spent a lot of time in London, and actually, the Tom Bates, who animates, I do a lot of animation on this podcast. He lives in England. We've never met. By the time this comes out, we will have. He's actually flying out next week, and we're going to do like a little take your shoes off with all of the people that have been working on it.
TYSO retreat. Give him some, Tom. That was sick.
But and I would go there all the time, and I would have to leave because I didn't have enough. I would bring all my equipment, and I would get a guest here or there, but I couldn't get any guests. And I went through all the people's podcasts that live in London. I was messaging the producers and the people, and I couldn't do it. More of my guests that I filmed in London were American that were visiting that happened to have been there.
Interesting.
And I remember having this feeling of like, now I'm not spending that much time in London anymore, but I remember this thing like, I want to get in with the London guys and girls. I want to like do this. And then you guys mentioned me. Also, you guys have a huge following, and I'm not going to pretend that I didn't notice that. And I was like, London people. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't know much.
Okay.
Oh, cool, man.
I watched a little bit, but not much on purpose. When I know I'm going to see a movie, I don't watch the trailer.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But I'm Rick. Nice to meet you.
James.
Nice to meet you too. Fuhad. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Fuhad. So you also said that you guys were here doing something that you were promoting that hasn't come out yet, but this doesn't come out until after. Do you guys want to do that so we don't bury the lead?
Okay, cool. So yeah, we weren't allowed to promote it really, but so we have a tour here next year.
Are you guys stand-ups?
No, we're not.
Touring, doing what?
Live
Live
podcast.
Live podcasting.
Yeah. So we're going to tour here next year, but we haven't finalized the dates for that one. We do have a finalized date because a lot of American people love to come to London to watch our live shows. So we have a show in the O2 Arena on
Yeah.
You guys
May
are big.
26th, which is a Sunday. Bank holiday
May
Sunday.
26th.
Congratulations.
Thank
we
you very
may or
much.
may not be the first podcast live show to ever do it there.
Yeah.
So we're really, really stoked. So please, guys, come and see us.
Yeah.
May 26th.
You
O2 Arena.
couldn't have announced a May thing before December 1st? Why is that a secret?
Well, we're announcing.
Also, I'm listening. I forgot. I want to get my coffee. I'm listening.
Yeah, so we're announcing in the next few weeks, in like a week or two.
A week or two.
Yeah,
That's why
we're announcing. But we promised a lovely, respectable British radio station that they could have first dibs on it. So we weren't. That's why
What
we
radio
weren't allowed.
station?
I think it's Capital
Extra.
Yeah, I think it's Capital Extra.
Capital
Oh,
Extra,
they're
yeah.
good. Put up their Instagram handle up here. You guys want coffee?
I'm
Nah,
okay.
we're not
All good.
coffee guys.
Yeah, don't do caffeine that much.
Oh, don't even do caffeine.
No,
I do
personally,
caffeine.
no. I don't do
Yeah.
that.
You guys ever see iced coffee where you're from?
Yeah. There's
Yeah,
ice
so-
coffee in the UK.
That's like the third person to ask us that.
Always had a problem. I would always order a drip coffee and ask for ice. When I said iced coffee, they didn't even understand.
You'd probably get more iced coffee during the summer in the UK, and that's about it. But it's,
said it.
it's summer all around here, so it's different.
I love London so
do?
much. Do you guys live in London?
I live on the outskirts of London, yes.
Where's that?
So like Essex area, which is east.
Oh yeah, you sound Essex.
No, I don't.
No, Essex to me is Kingsman. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a real like.
You seen Kingsman?
I've seen like the first two.
Isn't it? He's like bruv. Like he's like real.
Yeah.
Like-
He is a bit Essex.
Like the way I hear when I hear English people rap, they're usually from Essex. I feel like.
They're not from Essex.
Essex
British
is
people
a
rap-
bit-
Oh, do I have
more-
wrong idea of what I was joking with you, but I was thinking it was Essex was like
Cockney.
yeah
Yeah,
those
Essex
are
is a
different.
bit-
Essex is a bit cockney, but I wouldn't
Yeah.
say a lot of rappers or rap
Oh,
with
you're
that
not listening
accent.
to the right stuff.
Oh, okay, say less. Maybe you need to put me on.
Yeah.
Okay, say less.
I'll put a beat on. I'll put a beat on and we'll put the headphones on. So then what like if you guys aren't comedians, the clips I watch are funny.
Thank you.
What are you? Like what got you into this?
So we are just friends. So basically what it was is
And neither of you sing.
neither of us sing. The gentleman that you met in the car sings.
He sings.
He's a professional singer.
Oh. Do you want to give a plug to any albums of his?
He hates when we do that, so no, I won't do that for his sake. But
what does he hate about it?
He's just like let's call him humble.
Yeah.
Let's call him humble.
He's humble.
I can understand you would hate it if you were here.
Yeah, to be fair, he would hate he probably wouldn't mind it. But I just know he doesn't like it, so I'm just not going to do it. I didn't know why I brought it up.
I'll say Akon dropped him off.
Yeah.
And he's wonderful.
Akon's all right. He had his time.
Okay.
So anyway, I feel like Akon's all right though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just thinking I was thinking of somebody who's, I don't even know if is he American?
He's Haitian, I think.
Yeah, well, that's all this, no offense. It's about, dialect. But I was thinking who's a black non-American. Doesn't matter, dude. If you're not gonna shout your friend out, you'll shout out a radio station.
You've asked us to. Yeah. His name is Jacob Banks, and he's a very.
That was Jacob?
Stop.
Was that for real, Jacob Banks?
Stop it.
Don't be that guy.
Why? I'm trying to navigate the play with you guys. Let me stretch. You stretch your fucking way. You keep saying say less. I'm not gonna. Let me do my stretching, dude.
Not gonna.
His name's Jacob Banks. He's a very, very talented musician. So yeah, check him out. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, we just we're just like friends. We've been friends for a long time, and we enjoy making each other laugh a lot.
Can I see?
Make each other laugh?
Yeah.
It has to come naturally.
On cue isn't
yeah, we're not talented like you. Fuhad's a terrible actor.
Yeah, and that's on God. Yeah.
You religious?
I wouldn't say I'm religious.
Then how do I know if I could believe you?
Oh, good. That's actually a good question.
Thanks.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll be right back. Southern California, I'm going to be at the Brea Improv, January 24th at 8 p.m. Ticket link is in the description. If you want to come see me do a headlining set, I will be at the Brea Improv, January 24th. How do I turn this thing off? Remind me what I push. I have a little trick if you want. I could teach you guys how to make somebody laugh.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Oh, I said you're a cat. I can't. I don't want to do this.
I thought he was actually handing me the keys.
He's trying to do cat tricks.
Yeah, I gathered from.
Yeah, and it's annoying because I was actually gonna when I knew that he was gonna come over to me, I thought it's gonna make me laugh.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed that.
Yeah,
and you know what? And you didn't. And you know why you didn't? Because you took it as a competition, and that's an interesting thing I want to talk about. You chose not to laugh.
I did.
Why would we ever choose to be less happy so we could show strength?
Interesting question.
Do you feel like manliness is something that you're trying to sell or something that you need to be?
Gulp, 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 gulp.
The honest answer is the latter, to be fair.
What, something you're trying to be? I'm definitely not trying to sell manliness.
We know. You?
I think it's something you need to be. Well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
want to get into this.
Yeah, go on.
Now, why is it that you need to be manly?
I don't think you necessarily need to be manly. I think it's more of how you've been brought up in your surroundings. It kind of builds you to be manly because of life lessons and things like that.
What is manly in your eyes?
Manly in my eyes is more secure and being able to provide.
Now, if I grew up with a single mother who was very strong and worked 3 jobs, and that's not what happened, but you can imagine. Would we say that she was manly?
Good question.
Thank you.
Good question. Not necessarily.
What's your take on the transgendered community?
Don't bite.
I wasn't going to. I genuinely wasn't going to.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
Yeah, I don't really have strong takes on manliness. I know that the reason I even thought to say the transgender thing is a hot button thing as a joke was because there's so much controversy and just even talking about how do you define a man and a woman, and I don't have a strong take on any of the points of view. I have a strong take on mine, but that's just I don't care. But then you saying that did make me think oh yeah, there are people that feel like I never think about being manly. I know. It's hard to imagine.
It is hard to imagine, especially with like the cross-leggedness.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's comfortability.
It's comfort, and you weren't thinking about being manly in that situation.
there was a time in middle school where I did look at me. I crossed my legs like this because manly people back in the day. I don't know how old you guys
this.
are, but that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy. You want to see somebody who's a big dick? Have him do this. This was manly. Also, it stretches the hip
Good
flexor a
stretch,
bit.
yeah.
But I'm looking to get comfortable.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I'm wearing sweatpants, not so I could do this.
Yeah, that's why I've gone for like the under.
Yeah,
it's way more
the tuck.
comfortable.
But I remember in middle school, somebody called me out for this. Like that's how women cross their legs. And I remember thinking about it. And I remember thinking, and I didn't do it. And I'm like, I thought I've seen my dad do that. And I saw my dad. I never even said anything to him. I saw my dad do it. I'm like, my dad does it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then I decided I was okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And I've never questioned my manliness. I'm not joking. I think like that was a thing. Like, oh, I don't want to sit like a woman. I guess sometimes I find sunglasses. I have to ask, are these women's sunglasses? But
I get that a lot with trainers. Female dunks are the best.
Yeah. Good, great colorways.
Yeah. So I always want to buy.
but you can't.
Female
They're not.
trainers.
What size shoe do you wear?
11 or 12.
US
American.
12.
US 12.
So I can't ever get them.
Yeah,
It's
they
frustrating.
stop in like
Nine.
nines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
US 10
the
maybe.
colors of women's shoes.
Yeah,
They're incredible.
Same.
Incredible.
And I can never get them. It's really, really, really frustrating.
But you know what? The other alternative is you have tiny feet, little dicks. You cross your legs, do this, and then you have cooler shoes. So I would rather
yeah, I'm
be.
trying to
I would
think what
rather.
would I prefer actually?
You would prefer that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Are you looking for me for what I prefer?
I know what you'd prefer.
What would I prefer?
Like big dick man shoes.
I would just like nice crepes.
What do you call them?
Oh, crepes. Crepes are kicks, trainers, sneakers. What do you guys call them?
I know a lot of English terms. I've never heard crepes.
What English terms do
Yeah,
you
go
know?
on. Go for the English terms.
Well, I would understand it, but I forget. Like, what do you guys call arugula?
A
I
who?
didn't even know what that is.
Right? You call it what do you call that bitter lettuce?
Bitter lettuce.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
What do you call arugula in England?
Is it like baby jam?
Bitter lettuce. Rocket?
Oh, rocket.
Yeah, rocket.
Oh,
I know you
hate
say
rocket.
you say Aberdeen instead of eggplant.
Aubergine.
Well,
Abed.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
And then there's some other ones.
Oh, you guys say cilantro,
What do you say?
coriander.
Coriander, right?
yeah.
I call it coriander sometimes.
Yeah.
I also stopped saying chips now. I say potato chips. I don't say crisps, but I
Okay,
still feel
nice.
the need to define
Yeah,
the
yeah,
difference.
yeah.
You
That's
guys say
that is actually helpful.
You guys say aluminum as well.
Aluminum.
Yes.
Aluminium.
It's aluminium.
And it's spelled completely
It's-
differently as
yeah.
well.
I don't think I say either.
What do you say?
Foil.
Tinfoil.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Break
I
the
mean,
barrier.
You sing. What was that?
that was
That was a thought process.
yeah. That was like that was a bit like Game of Thrones fan.
That's what I thought you were doing.
Nah, not yet. Tin foil is like just for foil. Aluminum is a type of metal.
Yeah, but I haven't. It hasn't come up in conversation.
That makes sense.
I try not to talk about other metals.
Other.
Yeah.
What
just,
ones do you talk about?
Just my own metals.
Like
Gold.
Can't take this guy sometimes.
noted. Noted.
Yeah.
Are we having fun? Because I think so. This is
I'm
a fun
having,
dynamic.
I'm having
for
a
me.
really good time.
This is jokes.
Thank you again for having us, by the way.
Honestly.
And I feel really,
course.
I actually feel like kind of guilty that you were trying to do podcasts with London people and they didn't want to do it.
I sent so many messages to people.
You remember anyone that you contacted?
No, I don't even remember the way I found a whole bunch of them. Was what is there? There's a really big podcast network out there. Do you know what it's called? I don't know if it still is. This was a couple years ago.
Maybe Acast.
Yes.
It was.
And I went down Acast, everyone who they followed, and I probably messaged like hundreds of people.
Oh, damn.
And some got back, and some they couldn't yet, and some they wouldn't. Some never got. Most didn't get back. But I just remember like my schedules were based on like when you have a podcast. It's great when it's just you don't have to get guests. There's pros and cons to both, but I could only travel if I could get guests or if I had stuff. I couldn't get any.
Damn.
I don't think I got one. And
That's
there's so many,
ridiculous.
and there's a few comedians. Aisling Bay, do you know Aisling? She's a comedian in the UK. She's Irish, but she's in the UK. She's been on my podcast, but she was on In America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that experience didn't like deter you having us on.
No. I wasn't. I had no resentment toward it. I was just like a feeling of
I
like
couldn't believe it.
no, it's like something I wanted to be able to. I wanted to be able to. Like, here's a silly analogy. I played Magic the Gathering. Do you know that card game?
I know that game.
I don't.
It's like an adult Pokemon, but it was before. It was the first collectible trading card game that came out that was like big. It came out in 1993. There were cards in the chest in the cards thing that was like $5 and $25, and it was like, who would buy this? I'm in 7th grade, 8th grade, and then as I got a little bit older and I got a little bit of money, I started buying these cards. I still played, still collected, but like, I don't think if I didn't want them when I was younger, I would care to go get them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So there's like, now my podcast is a little bit bigger, and it's like, I wonder if I could have but I want to. I just want to like. So I didn't think much of it, but I love doing comedy in London. Maybe my favorite place to do it.
Really?
Why?
I'm going to answer you with the observation I made when I first made it, and I don't know if that still is as true, but it's what I project onto English people.
Okay.
I'm silly. I used to be even sillier or weirder, I guess, and I would make big choices. And relatively speaking, I found that in London, at least, they were willing to question, is this real or not? I think there's an absurdist type of culture that exists in comedy where people grew up there. I mean, Monty Python was here, and I'm not even a huge Monty Python fan, but that absurdist thing is like really big.
Yeah.
And so I would do silly stuff, and people, funny or not, if they thought I was funny or not, they would at least give it a chance. Like, oh, he's doing this on purpose. And here, relatively, I felt it was a little bit, especially before I got better at my craft, just a little bit more judgmental of like, this is what we came to see, so show us that.
Yeah. I get
Did it make you feel some type of way?
I didn't know. I always felt like I was funny, and I felt like I'm gonna be good at this, but I didn't feel like I was for a long time.
Okay.
In England, before I just felt I felt like when I was in England, I'm like, am I good? You know, like
nice
people. I felt. I'll tell you what it is. I felt a little seen. I felt seen.
Nice.
That makes sense. I think also in England, we don't have as big as a comedy culture, like stand-up comedy culture. So like
It's pretty big.
it is big, but it's not like it's not regular. Like I've maybe one time been to a comedy club. Like it's not on anyone's like unless you are like a diehard fan.
Yeah.
It's not like you will.
Are you talking about stand-up in particular? Like what about all the panel shows?
Stand up. Just strictly stand up. Strictly stand up. It's not like an everyday like, oh, it's Saturday night, should we go to a comedy club? That's just like not
It's not culture.
common
Yeah.
in our culture. So like if I was to go and see a stand up, I would believe whatever they present to me. So if someone was up there being silly, I would give them more of a chance because I'm like, this is like, I'm just a guest in their space. I wouldn't go in there thinking, this is what makes me laugh. And if you're not going to do this, then I'm just going to sit here silent.
I also I want to defend what I think I may have said. Not that necessarily people think like this is what I want. I mean, it's a very hyperbolic projection that I was making. But yeah, there is a traditional sense of stand-up that exists, and then in where you guys are from, it's like, I don't know, it's more theatrical.
Yeah, it can be. It can be. And we had like pretty successful, like like Lee Evans was
Funny guy.
crazy.
Crazy theatrical.
Who's Lee Evans?
You don't know Lee
He
Evans?
sweats a
I do know
lot.
Lee Evans.
He sweats on stage.
Yeah, he's like, I think he's definitely retired now, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
But yeah, at one point he was like probably like the biggest comic in the UK. He was
Of
Ricky
course.
Gervais.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
was super theatrical. Billy Connolly was super theatrical.
Michael McIntyre.
Michael McIntyre super theatrical. So yeah, it makes sense.
Billy Conley, of course.
He won like a Lifetime Award not too long
He
ago, I
did
think it
win a
was.
Lifetime Award. Yeah.
A few years ago, I'm sure.
Cool.
Is that a Lifetime Award?
Oh no, that's just it's not even from comedy. That's just from dramatic acting. I do dramatic acting too.
I've heard you mention that before.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes people ask about it, but yeah, I do dramas.
Okay. What have you been?
That's from a show called As We See It. But a lot of times I just do drama, I'll just do drama.
Just in your house?
Yeah. Oh, well, interpersonally, socially, like I'll do stuff like, you guys came here for how long?
A
We've
week.
been here for a week.
It's tough, huh?
Do you think you can outact me? Should we try?
I don't think I can. I don't even act. I'm just present in a moment with certain situations that people write for me, but we could try.
Okay, do you think you could do drama better than me?
No, I don't. I don't compare myself to. I don't talk about other medals. I don't compare myself to other people. I just know that I could be very present, and if you can too, I think you'll just make me better, and vice versa. But if you're looking to do it better than somebody else, you're looking to feed your ego, not tell a story to the people at home. Are you hungry? Do you want me to feed your ego?
Hang on.
Are you mad at me?
Me personally, no.
Yeah,
no.
he's stoic. So yeah, he won't laugh unless it really, really gets him.
Did you grow up with both parents?
I did.
Are they stoic?
I don't think so.
Are you first generation English?
I am.
Right. That's what it is. That's what I'm reading on you.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters?
One.
Older?
Yes.
Yeah, brother.
Sister.
I'm saying you're the brother. You're her brother is what I'm saying.
You
Younger
right.
brother. Now, it's interesting that you're the younger brother, but what, do you feel a responsibility to take care of her?
Why do I feel that, did you say?
Well, I said, well, you do. Do you?
I don't.
Why is that? Isn't that manly?
Stay poised, bro.
I am poised.
Good.
I'm
I'm
calm.
just saying in case.
No, I'm calm.
Do you feel your sister finds you to be a manly man?
I don't know. I've never asked her.
Let's get her on the phone.
I'm not going to call her now.
Are you close with her?
Closer than I have been in the past.
What changed?
Her kids.
Her having kids or the kids changed?
Her having kids.
How old are they?
Very young.
There must be twins.
No.
Well, then how far apart are they?
4 years.
They're 4 years apart.
So it's interesting.
3 and a bit. 3 and a bit years.
So did you guys get close after the second one?
No.
Was it even closer, like 3.5
Yeah,
years
yeah,
now?
yeah.
Do you know his sister well?
I've met his sister once.
Could you get her on the phone?
No. Time difference and stuff as well. So
Yeah.
it's quite late.
8
in
hours.
England.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm hip to that.
Mm,
You know
well
the
done.
trick? I mean, adding 8 is easy, but sometimes if you're past 4 p.m., like if it's 5 p.m., you could add 8 to 13, so you know that's 1 in the morning. But what
Yeah.
I like to do is subtract 4.
I
So
get
if it's 7 p.m., instead of adding 8 to figure out that it's 15 p.m., which means 3 a.m., if it's 7 p.m., I'll just subtract 4. 7 minus 4 is 3.
Oh, so it's 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, well played.
Well played.
I'll
use that going forward.
I actually will use that going
Well
forward.
played.
Yeah.
I just opened the world clock on my
Yeah, that's all I do.
iPhone.
Yeah.
And, it says it.
You know what happens when you start using calculators?
So yeah.
And I'm using that as an analogy to also looking at a world clock. Like you start to look at device for numbers and stuff. You know what happens? I find that what happens when you start using them, you start using them. And then that means you stop figuring them out. So I oftentimes make a decision to not use a tool
Okay.
so I could do it myself to keep me on my toes.
Do you feel like you would forget how to ride a bike if you started using motorcycles?
I think that if it mattered to me to know how to ride a bike, not that I would necessarily forget, but I would want to make sure I still ride bikes.
Do you think basic arithmetic matters to me?
Does it matter to you?
Mm.
I don't know. Does it?
Mm-mm.
Can I do my impression of you?
Your impression of me.
Yeah.
You can try.
All right. Does arithmetic matter to you?
No.
Why do you think that is?
Why do I think basic arithmetic doesn't matter to me?
Yeah.
Because I deem it an irrelevant part of my daily life. Because I have the tools
Okay.
to avoid it.
Do you forget things often?
Not really.
Do you want to keep it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Brain games.
I play brain games.
Oh, you do play brain games?
I could tell.
How can you tell?
Because
Are you insinuating I'm forgetful?
I don't remember what I even said to you.
Brain games.
Did either of you think I really tripped at all for a second? Because I didn't feel like it was a good trip.
No, I knew you did. I knew you did on purpose.
Well, because you called it out right
Yeah.
away. But was there a moment?
Not in the slightest. Untrue.
Was it because it was a bad trip or just because we were just talking about
Just
don't
because
trip?
we were talking
Right.
about it. Yeah.
I really like comedy falls a lot. I used to do them a lot and hurt myself. My buddy, one of my best friends, Brent Morin, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a comedian. I actually will probably swipe to one of his falls now.
Got it! Let's go! Are you fucking nuts?
Come back laughing. Keep the direction of me saying come back laughing. So,
Oh God.
and that to me feels English. Big physical broad comedy feels
Okay.
English to me.
Okay.
Gulp.
Do you guys like falls and stuff? Did you grow up watching like England's Funniest Home Videos? Was there something like
Oh
one of
gosh,
those?
what do they call it? What was it called?
It's called You've Been Framed.
You've Been Framed.
There's a show called You've Been Framed. You probably have a version of that in the US, and it's just like people's failures. It's not
Nah,
not
it was more
necessarily
like home
punked.
video
Home videos.
style,
Punked is different.
fails.
Punked is forced, whereas You've Been Framed was very much like you said,
like home video stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that you just creased. It was nice to see another English term.
Let's go.
That is an English term.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is he using it correctly?
Yeah, he was. I
Yeah,
gathered it
yeah.
straight away. Well played.
Well done.
I love talking to you guys right now is making me feel
Like you're in London.
no, but I'm romanticizing it.
Okay.
I miss it.
How long were you there for?
What's that?
How long were you in London for?
I've gone. I could figure it out exactly. I've probably gone 5 times, but when I would go, I would stay sometimes for longer than a month.
Oh, nice.
nice.
So like,
Always London.
I would always fly into Heathrow.
Okay.
Yeah, always London. I mean, yeah, for
Yeah.
mostly. The first time I went, I stayed in. It was like a ghost. What's it called? It's not Spirit. It's East London. What am I thinking? Ghoul. What's the city? You'll know it. You know it.
Like a ghost?
Like a
Yeah,
ghost.
it's named Ghost Spirit. There's a city. It's like it's east. It's east. Maybe
So east we have, and it begins with S?
yeah. No, but it sounds like a ghost. Help me out here. My instincts for the audience watching is like Rick, move on. But
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't want to.
Right, East London, Shoreditch, Stratford.
It's right next to Shoreditch. It's either just this way or just this way of Shoreditch. Angel. You understand. You
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I mean, angels are ghosts in a way.
In a way.
In a way.
You can't speak on this.
Oh yeah, you're not religious. Neither am I.
What's your deal with the laughing situation here?
What do you mean?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is online therapy that makes it convenient for you not just to go to therapy, but to find a therapist. If you don't have a therapist, you go to BetterHelp. You get matched with a clinical licensed therapist in under 48 hours. If you don't love the therapist you're matched with, you could switch at any time at no cost to you. There is a big convenience to that. Also, if you don't want to go into a therapist office, both not wanting to drive there and also just wanting to have the comfort and safety of your own house, it's all online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and be matched with a licensed therapist. If you know you want to speak to a therapist, then I suggest doing it if you're not already. And if you're not sure, I want to let you know that therapy isn't just for people who are trying to deal with very specific traumas that they're aware of. I do believe, and I say this on my podcast all the time, that it is good for everybody. It's working out your mind and your awareness. Therapists help you find the questions to ultimately then get the answers. That's where therapy has helped me a lot. Like, wait, why? Oh, sometimes even the question of why and the awareness helps bring an answer. I love therapy. And as BetterHelp says, celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/TYSO for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TYSO. This episode is sponsored by Helix. I have a Helix. My parents have a Helix. My Uncle Teddy now has a Helix. My aunt has a Helix. Listen, if you're not in the need for a mattress, go ahead and skip past it. If you are in the need for a new mattress, at least check out their website. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a mattress than to do it. So instead of having to go to a store, you could sleep on it. They have a risk-free 100-day guarantee. If you don't like it, they'll come, not only do they drop it off, they'll come to your house and pick it up. So you could try it out. You don't like it, get rid of it. It also has a 10 to 15-year warranty. Every Helix mattress has a hybrid design. They combine individually wrapped steel coils in the base with premium foam layers on top. It's a perfect combination for comfort and support. Like I said, I'm not just selling you the mattress because they're paying me. I also use the mattress and have a lot of family using the mattress. And Helix is offering 20% off all mattresses and 2 free pillows to our TYSO listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TYSO and use code HelixPartner20. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Snap! DraftKings Sportsbook.
An official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs is bringing you an offer that'll help you make the playoffs electrifying. New customers can bet $5 on any game and get probably $50. $200 instantly in bonus bets.
What?
A $5 bet gets you $200 in bonus bets. That can't be real.
Whoa.
Do you like to bet on sports?
I don't know if I ever have, but I'd try it.
Let me tell you something. When you bet on sports, you're betting on having a better time. And for $5, you get $200 of bets instantly, dude, with
Whoa.
DraftKings. Yeah. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SHOESOFF. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SHOESOFF. The crown is yours.
Wow.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.800gambler.net. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
And you could bet on that at
Whoa.
DraftKings. Because I believe you're having a good enough time at least.
I'm warming up to the fact that I'm adjusting to your character.
That makes so much sense that I feel emotional right now. That makes so much sense. I forget that that's a thing. Yeah, I actually I'm not my eyes are watering a little bit.
I can say
Dude, that
it.
makes
What?
so much sense.
Yeah, very good at
He's
what
trying
you
to do the drama thing.
Yeah.
No, sincerely, we don't know each other, but still in my head, there's a shorthand because performers. And that doesn't mean that we're in the same pocket by any means. And I just had the realization of, oh, right, you have to warm up to me. Or I guess us to each other,
Yeah.
but I don't ever feel that need.
Makes sense. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
makes
I
sense.
often don't feel that need, I guess I
makes
should
sense.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing you I mean this in an energy sense.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Like I said, I'm warming up to who you
Yeah.
are, so I understand.
I see that in an energy sense. So when I see somebody doing this, to me, that's the play.
Okay.
When you're playing basketball with someone you've never met and you guys are pushing each other, that's the play. I think I get off on that before knowing.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I feel like I do. I
Could
get
you
the
explain
analogy.
your version of it? Like what I'm saying is I see you not laughing.
As a challenge?
No, but because you're not, I don't know if it's a choice or not, but you're, not by the way that I'm being so funny, you should be laughing, but just when I did the key thing, even if it wouldn't laugh at all, there could be, if you were, my feeling, my deduction would be, if this were all random and weren't on cameras and it was just a random thing, maybe you'd laugh, maybe you wouldn't.
I probably wouldn't have.
But what you did do was you made a point to be still.
Because I was trying to gauge what you were trying to do. Like I said, I thought you were going to hand me the keys.
Right.
As opposed to dangle the keys in my face. And then when you started dangling, I was like, I don't know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
Fuhad doesn't like to feel played.
Yeah. So I misread that. I misread that as that was how you play.
No. That's my genuine reaction.
That's why I got a little I was so unaware of something.
Okay.
I thought you were playing not for better or for worse. I thought you were playing, and you were just making choices as opposed to trying to understand mine. That's I think the best way to articulate it. I think I saw you making choices with me, but really you were just trying to understand what I was doing.
Yeah, I hear you.
So because I saw you making choices, I'm like, we're playing. So I'm like, what are your fucking rules, dude? I'm trying here.
Okay,
you
say
know?
less. Say less.
All right.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, sometimes you have to take things literal.
Okay.
Are we warming up?
Warmed. Luke.
Rick,
Fuhad.
first base. You guys don't have Abbott and Costello in England, huh? They never went over there?
Who?
Yeah. Abbott and Costello are a
Gulp, 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 gulp.
very, one of the big comedy duos in, I'm making up the decade, but let's say the 60s in America. They had a real big joke that it's like a 5-minute comedy bit where it was a baseball team and who's on first. I don't even remember anymore. The guy's name is who on first.
I think
and the second baseman's name is I don't know, and so on and so forth. Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Sorry, continue.
We'll swipe to it.
Take it easy.
What's the guy's name on first base?
What's the guy's name on second base?
I am not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third. We're not talking about him.
Laugh. Nice.
Thank you.
All right. Well, tell me some stuff. I mean, I could ask some questions.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But tell me a little bit about what your podcast is. You guys do. I know you have a lot of people that are like.
Do you mind my feet are on your sofa?
I don't. That's what the blanket's for. You have people messaging in, which is something that I've been wanting to do, and I've even told people to message stuff in, and then I get the emails, and I just don't. There's so much goes into this podcast, and I don't get to it. And
That's fair though.
Yeah, but I want to. I like it.
Why didn't you start it first?
What's that?
Why didn't you start with the questions or the submissions first before you get into the rest of your show?
What do you mean by first? You mean before?
The first thing you do. Because you say you don't get to it. Correct?
No. I mean, I literally don't look. I don't I imagine you guys get a whole bunch and you have to look through.
Oh, okay.
Do you do it personally? Do you have a producer that does that?
We did personally prior, but we have a producer that does it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the point now where I would need a little help.
Okay.
And to go through them. Okay. And also when I have guests on, I guess I could do it with some guests. But so what's your process? You get questions, somebody looks through, you guys pick the ones that.
Yeah. So
do you read them for the first time on air?
Yeah. So basically what happens is we put out like an Instagram question once a week. Mm-hmm. People will send all their answers in. Fuhad personally collates all the best ones. And then the reaction is he reads them out and then my reaction is live on the show.
Do you have any could we do one of them on this podcast?
Do we have any?
We don't have any at the moment.
Sorry, dude.
Oh, because it's each week it's a specific.
Yes, each week is a completely different question.
Yeah. So it would be like, what's the worst way someone's called you ugly? Or what's the
worst thing you found on someone's phone?
Worst thing you found on someone's phone.
Things like
what kind of stuff did you get?
Someone messaged in saying that they found on their boyfriend's phone a picture of a shipment of guns and grenades from Somalia.
That was shipped to him or from the movie War Dogs?
Yeah, shipped to him, I think.
Shipped to him.
Oh, so she found out he was an arms dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Yeah. And what else was on someone's phone? That was a while ago.
That was the ugly one. What was the worst way someone called somebody ugly?
How do you view, as an outsider, how do you view pretty privilege?
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, but that just sounds like an insult.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
If it sounds like an insult, that wouldn't get me.
Someone said, my family take our bloodline really seriously. What else was on? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Do people send in funny stuff, or is there ever stuff where it's just like?
I find the stuff that some of it is clever. The funny stuff doesn't even make us laugh because we just think, clever.
Yeah.
But it's usually the more shocking stuff that makes us laugh, and then we play on it. So someone will be like, the guns and grenades from Somalia, and then we'll just spend 10 minutes role playing on it. Doing some bits on it and stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. And then the rest of the show is just normal stuff that we would normally talk about on a podcast, and just our friendship and stuff.
Are you part of the actors world out there?
Nope.
Or theater at all?
Nope.
Nah.
One of my best friends, his name's David Finn. He's an English actor. I'm just thinking if I ever go there again, or if you guys are here when he's here, I'd want to do a podcast with the four of us.
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
That'd be sick.
Also, I don't know if you guys ever have guests. I actually saw you have guests sometimes.
Yeah,
but this
rarely,
is a common thing, and I imagine they're friends of yours. Or are they just
people in the space.
In the space, but also friends.
Also friends at the same time, yeah.
I would love if he went on your podcast.
Yeah?
I'll send you his information. By the way, cool. He's not somebody that does podcasts a lot. I'm not. Okay. I don't know if any of the parties are interested, but just talking to you guys right now, I'm just and also I just have limited, I guess, my relationships with English people. I'm just projecting, but I want to see you guys with David.
Okay. All right, sick.
Yeah,
I appreciate that
because he'd be really good at these things, the people writing stuff in his point of view, his perspective.
Yeah.
I want to. What can I do? I want to take advantage of this episode to ask people to send me stuff for another episode.
Okay, should we figure out a question?
Yeah.
Should we do a question? Should we figure out a question?
And are you having them send in? It's audio.
No. Instagram.
So it's just
the question. The
messages.
question box on Instagram. I ask a question, they reply to that, and then I just fizz.
And do you
through them.
say the person who said it?
No. Always keep it anon.
What if they want you to? Isn't that part of the fun for them or no?
No.
We always keep it
The
anonymous.
fun is anonymous
Great.
or
Because
anonymity.
then also
I just want to make sure, like, I want to make sure I'm not giving credit if that's what they want. But I guess I would say it right now. I'm not going to say who it is.
Yeah, we don't like to give people the opportunity to embellish either. If they're looking like if they're sending it in for clout, then we've had some stuff before where people send in like stories or whatever. It's like this is like the most fake story I've ever heard in my entire life.
And you think it'll help it be less fake if they think that they're anonymous?
I think so.
Yeah.
I guess I get that.
And then, yeah, what would be a good question to ask for Rick's show?
What would be a good question?
So what if we could do a play on taking your shoes off? So what if it was like, I mean, you're good with you're the question master.
Yeah, but this is literally.
All right, what's the rudest thing you've ever done in someone else's house? That'd be a good question.
Yeah, very good question. Yeah.
Rudest thing somebody's ever done in your house or that you've done in somebody's house?
You've done it in someone
You've
else's
done it in
house.
someone else's house.
Now, my poking holes in thing question would be people, if they've done something rude in somebody else's house, the reason why they probably did it is because they were unaware. So, which means how will they know the answer?
All right, let's do the vice versa.
Or
Vice versa.
I'd like to open that up to either like the rudest thing you've done or somebody has done in your
we
house.
We do that too.
Yeah.
Like either or.
Yeah.
We've done both sides before. They work.
And then what do I do? Like, there's a podcast in the States. They're New York guys. H. Foley and Kevin. They're so funny. It's called Are You Garbage? I don't know if you've heard of that podcast.
Oh, Brendan mentioned that the other day.
I've heard of it.
Great podcast. But they do a thing where they try to figure out if the guest is garbage or not.
Oh, I see.
And they
Okay.
ask a whole bunch of questions and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then it's like, is that garbage? Is that not? It's all subjective anyway. But is there something to then like it being rude? Oh, that is rude. And we talk about it. Or is it like, do you think it's rude if? Like, here's something that somebody said was rude that I don't. Then there gets to be points of view on it. So when you guys get something, where's the point of view? Is it just making fun of it?
It's my main objective for these questions is to make him laugh.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's just the start and end of it.
Yeah, that's the main foundation,
Yeah.
and then whatever comes out of it, there are definitely times when there'll be debate about like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that doesn't even mean that. That could possibly mean this, and then we can go back and forth about it. But the foundation of it is like,
Is to make him
this will
laugh.
make James laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do if you're the same people all the time.
Yeah. So when you mentioned about like, because as you were talking about it, I was thinking, how's this going to work?
It'd have to be a guest. I've got some guests on that are just reoccurring guests. It'd have to be something like that.
So it really, you want to play to the strengths of the guest. So hence why, for example, our guests, when we said we have like friends, even though they're in the space, we only invite very particular people on that we think would do well in certain scenarios.
Yeah.
Or if we know them well enough that we can build the show or the episode around their strengths.
If I were being on a podcast, what would you build it around?
Oh my God, I have a million ideas.
Yeah, I think now that I've like warmed up to you, Luke,
Do you really think
yeah.
so? Let me
I
see.
have.
Oh no. He's giving you the keys.
I think I've warmed up to you too.
That was actually funny. That actually made me laugh.
I'll tell you actually. Here, you can come over here. We're really good at catching on this podcast.
Okay, say less. Say more. Say
Right.
more.
What we would do with Rick, if we had him on, usually we begin with a roast.
Yeah.
But
Roast. I know what a roast means, by the way. We typically do them on Sundays in England. Talking going down to the local pub, maybe getting a charred cauliflower, some type of a pie.
Yeah, for sure.
People in America don't know what that means.
Yeah, roast. We found out roast dinner is not a thing here at all. I think the closest comparison is probably like
Shabbat dinner.
like a Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
dinner,
yeah. Or what?
or what you said.
What did you say?
A Shabbat dinner. I was kind of joking, but it's something that is like a tradition. I think of like, not that a roast is a tradition, but there's something about it that kind of is like Sundays. You go out.
A roast
you go
is
to,
a kind of a tradition. Yeah.
And it's just like vegetables and it's barbecue in a way, but
It's like
not necessarily.
everything is in the oven. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Anything that you could it's a day of roasting things.
Literally.
But what you were saying was you would go in there and be like, look at this fucking piece of shit, fucking bitch. And I'd be like, all right, Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah. That's basically it. I don't know would do that for you though. I don't think it would fit for your episode.
To roast me?
Yeah, you have like a really because he's really innocent and then like he's like it's just not fair. You know, we don't punch down is what we're saying, Rick.
I get it. I was an innocent dramatic actor.
I think playing on your like skills as an actor would be cool in the episode. So we'll probably do some like scenario based role play.
I'm too innocent to make fun of?
Yeah, to be bullied.
Is it because of the way I look or is it because of my energy?
Nah, it's like you seem like genuinely kind.
Oh, you have people on that aren't kind?
They're kind, but they have like they're a bit more elastic. They're a bit The fuck?
I'm trying to show you that you could make fun of me.
I would make fun of you if you did that on our show.
That's why I did it. I didn't mean it.
Exactly. You didn't mean it.
Nobody means it when they go unless they're 7. Anytime anybody does anything mean, they don't mean it. They're just reacting.
Okay. Are you saying that if you came on our show that you'd want us to cook you?
I'm not saying what I would want you to do anything other than just show up in the way that you want to best.
I'm saying you sounded like you wanted to do the roast.
I can.
I
Bro,
thought I had to sneeze. I thought I had to sneeze.
We can cook.
I think we can definitely.
Have you seen
do the
those,
roast.
by the way? Do you guys have Tom and Jerry where you're from?
We have Tom and Jerry.
I didn't fall for that. I don't know why.
I just wanted to see if it was good Tom and Jerry artwork, to be fair.
By me saying to look over there, that was me asking you to play the game with me. Of course you know that I'm doing that on purpose. And the fact that you didn't do that meant that you haven't warmed up to me yet.
Not necessarily.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to do something I've never done on this podcast before.
Go on.
I just shit my pants, like for real. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, go on.
One thing we don't do is charity laughs. That's probably what Fuhad's giving you a bit more.
Who's giving me charity laughs?
Well, we don't give charity.
Don't give charity laughs.
If I don't find something funny, I'm not going to laugh.
Yeah.
Sure. What is the point? I don't understand what the point you're making.
So in terms of like, him not turning around because he knew you were doing a bit, but you telling him, I knew you were doing a bit. I knew you knew I was doing a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So you still could have turned around because you were playing into the bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's very much like, I'll only play along if I genuinely believe this is the funniest possible thing right now.
Do you know why I'm annoyed? Because I feel like
that's not true.
I felt like he knew Wagwan and he just made you explain that already.
Yeah, he knew. Of course he did. This whole thing is just like a massive minefield.
No.
Actually, I'm going to turn around and look at the Tom and Jerry. All right?
Sure.
Will that make you happy?
The timing has passed.
It really has gone.
Yeah. I didn't need you to do it. I also don't really think the key thing is funny. But because I'm doing that, we're having fun.
Yeah.
It's play.
Right. Yeah.
Why do you actually have those? Are those the actual actors? The actors,
No, it's a
voice
cartoon.
actors, but they.
What are you talking about? Oh, the signatures.
The signatures. I was going to say voice actors, but they didn't really act on them.
Dude, you're a piece of shit. Stop.
Pun intended.
But I was going to say, yeah.
So, you know, I don't often feel more advanced than my guests.
Meaning?
On a higher plane, like I'd be punching down. But I do with you two.
What?
Yeah.
You still
I'm
playing?
going to call this episode less. Yeah, man. All right.
You're going to call this episode what? Sorry, finish.
I was going to say less than.
Less than.
Yeah. I'm just trying to egg on, so I want you to roast.
Want another roast?
Yeah.
We can do the roast.
Yeah,
Literally, if you want to do the roast, we can do the roast.
The thing is with the roast, we don't roast you. It's our fan base
we
that
ask the
roast you.
internet to roast you.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Why?
Very anti-Semitic these days.
Oh, no.
Oh, the internet is anti-Semitic?
No, I'm saying we wouldn't stand for that.
And we'd obviously choose what
Yeah,
we'd
we
say
wouldn't
to
let
you.
that filter through. That's horrible. Jesus.
I guess that makes sense. Another Jew. I'm sorry. Normally we get much more another Jew. Oh, here's one. What's with this guy's nose? Another Jew. But yeah, I guess you look through them. I just think it was interesting that you would say that you wouldn't roast me. Not that I want to be roasted. I don't care either way. It's just like I don't know. I thought we've been busting balls.
Yeah,
Personally, I'd roast you.
Yeah, he would.
I would let our fan base
he
roast
really,
you.
really would.
And then do they roast you guys as well?
They have.
Yeah, but they have.
They have on our reaction channel.
Oh, the internet, you mean? Or do you mean the guest?
I'm saying when you say come up with insults for this guest, but you never say come up with insults for us.
Yeah, we have
we
done
have.
that.
We have done twice.
We have a separate YouTube channel and we've done that a couple times and it was pretty brutal.
It would be fun to do one where they're insulting you or you, but it's hidden. Neither of you know which one is who's being insulted, and you have to guess who they're insulting.
I think we'd know.
Yeah, exactly. We'd guess it easily.
Yeah. I think we'd know anyway.
But yeah, I wouldn't enjoy that.
Neither would I, but I think it'd be.
I think I get
funny.
I get roasted more than you as well, though.
Yeah.
What kind of roasts?
Just that, like I'm in love with him and stuff.
Is that a roast? Are you gay?
Mm-mm.
Are you?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Are you?
No.
I mean, I'm happy.
I'm depressed.
That's sick. You're depressed?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm homosexual. I'm a depressed homosexual.
Oh, so you're not gay?
No. Or am I? No, I'm straight, but that's just because it's more convenient, at least for me.
I've often wondered if it is more convenient. I think it actually depends what your end goal is.
Yeah, I guess.
I hear hookup culture in the gay community is like fantastic.
What have you heard about?
Like just Grindr seems to be like popping.
Yeah, I was in New York with a gay friend of mine, and he told me about this app. I don't know what it's called, but like it's not Grindr, but like you could find, like we were walking by and there was I think it was a Bed Bath & Beyond or a Container Store or something, and it says like on the floor, like what floor, and it's like a thing that like you have your GP, like has the GPS, so you could see, you could turn on if you want to fuck or get fucked.
So it's like Pokemon Go for like gay guys.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. And it's like, we're meeting here. This is where I am. There's two of us or there's one of us. And like, oh, like you turn it on, you could check the radius. Oh, I could walk over to this bathroom or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying it right exactly. Because he told me about it for like maybe 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, that's what it was. And it was just like, whoa.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Glory hole is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I guess, but also like glory hole is a very specific thing.
Yeah.
But they've just like got like a little bio.
This is like you could just, you go and like you could meet somebody on the second floor bathroom at the Container Store. And I guess when I think there has a picture and a bio.
That's crazy. That's
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
also fulfillment for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Sounds like soul destroying though. I feel so hollow after that.
Are you guys in relationships?
Yes.
When you weren't, did you like fooling around?
Yeah,
single
stages,
time.
different
Yeah.
stages. I had like a massive like whore stage when I was younger. But I realized I didn't really enjoy the act. I just enjoyed, because that was when I was living with like my friends. And it was just like, I enjoyed more of the before and after. So like when I'm taking the girl upstairs and I'm like, see you guys in the morning. I enjoyed, and then coming down the next morning, just like, what's up?
So you liked being manly.
Good throwback. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I used to talk about that on stage, how I dated a girl a bit ago, and I found out that she had slept with more people than I knew she did.
Okay.
And there was two things happening for me. This was a while ago, and one of them was I felt myself being jealous, and I was trying to understand why. I didn't feel any I don't think I felt judgment toward her. It wasn't like, oh, she's gross, but it was jealousy, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I had a hypothesis. I talked about this in therapy for a bit, which was, I think it's because is she cooler than me? Because I didn't had at the time, and none of your fucking business anyway, but at the time I hadn't slept with very many people, and there had been these situations that I was in that I kind of ran away from. And I don't know it's because I didn't want to sleep with this person because I didn't like them, or was I scared and intimidated. And whatever it was, there was this culture of like, I remember in high school, and at least it was like hooking up with people is cool. So I had this idea that like, oh, it's cool to do that. And I felt like, and then it was less about her and more about me thinking I'm not cool. I don't know if that's true or not, but like, it's this feeling I'm trying to better understand. And then like my therapist even told me you should try sleeping with people, like go
wow.
around sleeping with people. And then I did that for a little bit. And
Was that daunting?
What's that?
Was that daunting?
Is that a sincere question? What do you mean by daunting? Like a task?
Not necessarily a task, but like, well, a task in an essence, because you said you felt some type of way that she had slept with more people than you, and you were like, oh, so I have to go around sleeping with more people. Like,
This was after we broke up, by the way.
Okay.
We had broken up, and I was just thinking about like I was, but yeah, there was a plan of like, it was less about go sleep with people and more about stopping things, like a girl would want to come over or do something or go out, whatever, and I would be like, no.
Okay.
And I didn't know why. And I thought I was scared. I thought like, what if they don't really like me, or what if I don't know what to do with them? Less performance anxiety and more quite literally like, what am I going to ask you about? What am I going to ask you about?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
This is so uncomfortable. I don't feel connected with you. And then I would do it. And as I did it and experienced it and didn't feel great after, I didn't feel bad usually. I just like, that wasn't anything. I realized, I think it's that I don't want to, I need to feel connected. And I don't mean that in a moral sense of like, I'm a good guy. I want to feel connected and be respectful. I literally had problems getting hard. I wasn't enjoying it unless I was connected. And then I've learned stuff along the way. And now what I've learned is I don't think I could be with somebody that I can't play with, do bits, joke around.
Yeah.
And I sometimes get hard playing with my girl. Like, I mean, I guess literally, but I don't mean that literally. I mean, like doing bits and like jokes and laughing with each other. I feel so close. I feel a sense of intimacy with friends, like non-romantic too.
You don't get hard for those ones.
It's as a metaphor, kinda.
Metaphor,
I get fucking like I'm
the endorphins.
Yeah. I'm fucking, like I'm attracted to this, like
I
not
do.
sexually.
Yeah. I do. I get like I have a real big thing with like quick wit. So if I get like jacked if people are like really
Finish
really,
each other's sentences. Sorry, I thought I knew what you were gonna say. Okay.
But anyway, like if we're going back and forth, and then someone says something, it could be like a callback, like you did earlier, or something that's like super quick, and it lands like just perfect. I lose my mind. I think it's the coolest thing of all time. So yeah, I get that, especially if it's like a partner or whatever, and they do it, and I'm just like so proud of them, and like I just want to like pick her up and just be like, oh my fucking God, like I'm gonna marry you. This is the best thing. This is the best thing of all time.
Do you feel that way with friends when he makes you laugh?
Yeah,
too?
when there's times where we'll be on the podcast and he'll say something and I'm like, no. I think you guys need to stop and understand like how funny that just was. Like so good.
What's your take on that?
I agree. Like, I feel like if someone understands who you are as a person in terms of like personality, banter, and they give it back and also receive it the same way, it's perfect.
Yeah, there's something. I had a conversation
Synergy.
about this recently. There's something about when you're doing bits and the people are going with you, you feel seen.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a bummer. Let me try not to judge it as much, but like sometimes I've experienced a lot of people. I still now tons more when I was a bit younger of just doing, not stopping, just jokes. And I could see how that could be exhausting, very much so. But like, I do feel myself sometimes in places doing jokes and then people are like, I don't want to joke right now. And I'm like, I get that. I have no way of connecting with you until we do that though.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I can.
Interesting.
Unless I'm learning something or teaching something.
Yeah.
I can't. So like there are times I'm in situations with people where what are we going to talk about?
I agree with you actually, because we've been here all week and we've had like a lot of meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
And I can't stand small
Like general
talk.
meetings
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
business
just
stuff.
business
Yeah.
stuff. And I can't stand like
Small talk.
I can't take it. But there was a point where he went to the bathroom and left me alone yesterday at a meeting, and I was like, oh my god. And then one of the dudes that was there like made me laugh, and then Everything was awesome from there. I was thinking, oh, I like this guy. He's cool. And then we had like much better back and forth. And I felt way more relaxed. And then the conversation was better. But until that point,
What did he do that made you laugh?
So what he did to make me laugh was, all it was is they went to the bathroom. Actually, it wasn't even when you were gone. It was when you came back. They went to the bathroom and we had a conversation about how we had gone to Soho House, and my biggest fear is being embarrassed looking for a bathroom. I can't stand it. So we have this thing.
It's a very specific fear.
It is, but I think it keeps happening. I didn't know it was a fear until it kept happening to me, in where it happens a lot because we spend too much time together. He will go to the bathroom. He'll come back and I'll be like, oh bro, where's the bathroom? And he does this
terrible.
really
I was like, it's here with this, with left.
fucking
right.
annoying.
Yeah.
And he'll like paint a picture and be like, there's a hallway. You go down, you take a left, you go down some stairs, you take another right, then you go up some stairs, take 2 more lefts, and then maybe
I happen to know
left.
the bathroom in the Soho House here, and that's not the right thing. So he lied to you.
Yeah, he did. And I nearly got lost. But that's what he does. And I get so intimidated that I'm like, I'm just going to hold it.
Is there something about if you can't find it fast, you're going to be gone for longer and people are thinking you're pooping?
No. But that is a different fear. I only have that fear if I know that they can see me go into the bathroom.
Now, what happens what are you more embarrassed about? If you go poop and you're gone for 10 minutes, or if you go pee and there was a long line and you were gone for 10 minutes and they think you pooped and you actually didn't?
And you have to explain yourself afterwards.
Do you have to explain yourself? I didn't poop.
I'm very much address the elephant in the room. So I would come back and be like, yeah, I didn't poo. Let's just get that out.
Yeah, we weren't even thinking about it, man.
Well, I didn't. And now you are.
Okay.
But yeah, so I get embarrassed like walking, looking, I can't find it. And then I also don't like asking strangers for stuff. So me asking like a waitress like, sorry, where's the bathroom?
I have no qualms about doing it. I do that.
Yeah,
I will
you're
do that
really good.
10 times out of 10.
What happens if you ask?
Nothing happens.
What's the feeling, I mean?
I don't know. I don't actually know what the fear is. I just don't enjoy it.
Could I guide with suggestions and tell me if anything connects?
Yeah, sure.
Is the discomfort the way this person will perceive you? Is it going to make you feel stupid or needy or bothersome and you don't want to bother somebody or you don't want them to dislike you? Is it anything about how they perceive you?
Nothing about how they perceive me.
So what could it possibly be?
I'm trying to think. I'm imagining me asking someone for something right now. And I think it is what bothers me about
Perfect
it.
scenario when we were coming back from a holiday and we had to take a shuttle from the airport to the car park, but we didn't know which shuttle it was. And he said, for the life of me, I'm not asking the driver. I was like, why? He said, I'm just not doing it. So I asked the driver, like, I didn't see the problem. I just asked the driver, is this the right bus? He said, no. I said, cool. And that was it. And we waited for the right one.
Do you feel stupid? Do you feel like they might shut you down?
I don't. I'm thinking about it right now because I do it when I need to do it. But I'm also perceiving, I think, okay. I don't know why I personally don't want to do it, but I know how I have felt in the past watching people do it.
Okay.
And I find it just cringy.
So if you watched me ask somebody something, or when you ask the thing, are you cringing for the person being asked or the person asking?
I'm cringing. Okay, I can't actually think. Right. So this is what I think in my head, right? Growing up, my mum likes, this also goes back to like small talk. My mum really, really, really would always do these like, haha, zing moments when we were kids, right?
Okay.
And so she would find any excuse to have like a weird conversation with a stranger. So perfect example would be asking someone, sorry, where's the toilet? And then the lady being like, oh, it's just over there. And then my mum being like, I don't know how I get through the day. And then the woman being like, yeah, sure, just let me get on with my day. And I'm just like, fuck, mum, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, stop doing that. You're so embarrassing. So I just have that ingrained in me where either, like I said, I don't know specifically because I know I'm not going to do that, but I don't know what it is about the idea of me asking now a stranger for something that just throws me back into that moment where I feel super, super cringe. And I'd rather just figure it out myself. That's the best I've got for you right now.
You'd rather take the long route than the short route.
No, it seems more that he would rather not be uncomfortable than take the short route.
Uncomfortable is the word. I hate feeling uncomfortable.
Right. How about you with uncomfortable?
I don't think anyone likes feeling uncomfortable, but in his scenario, I don't feel any type of way uncomfortable.
I've gotten some conversations about discomfort and why are we so afraid of it. I don't mean uncomfortable like this couch is making my back hurt. I mean like in a social situation where it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much I connect with that. I get uncomfortable and I don't like it. So I mean, I'm not like an alien.
Yeah.
But like, if there's like on this podcast, I sometimes will interrupt someone when I think I know what they're going to say with saying each other's sentences because it's a cliche thing.
Yeah.
You were talking about quick wit. I was pretending to that each other's sentences was that moment like, oh, there's an example of the wit. You go, that's not what I was going to say. And you kept going. It was a beat that was irrelevant, but I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like I felt uncomfortable for a few reasons. One of which I cut you off, and now here's another example of Rick cutting somebody off. Ego version of it. And then there's also, I hope I don't mess up that momentum now. Do you think I'm not interested? Did you forget what you were going to say? Literally just the timing of it.
Okay.
Because even if I edited that thing out, did the butterfly effect change into a chord? All those things came into my mind, and it was uncomfortable. But like there was no uncomfortable where it stopped me. Like, yeah, that's uncomfortable. That I'm hungry, I'm cold. Like it didn't. I would never choose to have. I don't think
It didn't affect your behavior.
and I knew before saying it that there's a chance I might be uncomfortable, but that doesn't make me not do it.
Okay.
Interesting.
And I think that there are some times where it would behoove me to recognize, let's not chase that, let's not make people uncomfortable. So I try to get better at it. But I don't know. I don't know. I was just trying to better understand that. Like, what happens if you're uncomfortable, but now you know where you're supposed to go? I'm saying that without judgment. I'm just like, what is that feeling of discomfort to you?
It is very much like, so I have a weird thing where I avoid very mild discomfort, but like, I'm a very like, when push comes to shove, I will just do it. So like being, so like absolutes, I'm fine with. So for example, we could do a live show in front of like 10,000 people. I won't feel uncomfortable.
Is that what that holds?
It holds
20.
It holds 20, but obviously it's seated, so I think max holds 12. So I think we're doing 12. I just rounded it down to 10.
That's really cool.
Thanks.
Thank
you. But I won't be uncomfortable. I'll be fine because it's an absolute, like it's happening.
Absolute meaning there's nothing, you have no control.
Yeah, there's no way around it. It's like it's happening. So like that's a very daunting moment for a lot of people, but I won't feel daunted because it's definitely happening no matter what.
And if you have to use the bathroom, it's not definitely happening. You can hold it.
I can hold it. I can find it. I don't need to ask someone. I can ask him again. I can bring someone with. There's so many different ways that like it magnifies the part that I'm most uncomfortable with, which is the asking someone. So even though it's such a mild task, because there are so many options of me getting around it, it now illuminates that task and makes it a bigger deal than it is. Whereas if it was just me in a restaurant with one stranger, and I was like, excuse me, where's the toilet? It's an absolute. I have to ask this person. I don't know where it is. So I have to ask this person.
Are you going to be nervous?
To ask someone for
the show.
Probably, yeah. But that's how we balance each other out. He's never really nervous. Or I say he's never really nervous, but I'm more anxious / nervous before the show. As soon as I get on stage, it's fine.
Yeah. How did you guys build this audience? What's the time frame here, and what was kind of like the tipping point?
So we started 4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah.
And did you have an online audience at all yet?
No. So someone asked us yesterday. When we started, we had like 400 followers on Instagram.
Okay.
Each in our personal.
Like personals. Not
and ShxtsNGigs was what you started 4 years ago, or you did other stuff?
No.
ShxtsNGigs is what we started.
What we started 4 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Before that, we were just working normal jobs.
Normal people.
And how long in until like you're like, ooh? I don't mean this. I mean, just when was it starting? Like,
slow trajectory.
Probably. So we started like September 2019. Okay. Probably March 2020. Wasn't recognizable, but it's like it was a bit like, oh, okay, this is like bumping a little bit. And then COVID. Say again, sorry.
That's when lockdown started.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So literally at the beginning of lockdown. But probably in terms of I don't know really, because ours is a weird one, right? So ours has always been like very steady growth. So for us, every moment was always like, ooh. There wasn't like a defining moment. And then where everyone else thought we're like, oh guys, you guys are out of nowhere, have just blown up. It's like we've always had like these like 10% increments. So like going from 8,000 to
You're talking about views right now?
Subs.
everything, YouTube subscribers, downloads, TikTok followers, all this kind of stuff. I've always followed this like very.
I guess I was asking, what does 8,000 mean?
Sorry.
unit?
It could be like 8,000 followers on Instagram
Right,
or on
yeah.
TikTok or 8,000 subs or whatever. So because it's always followed that trend, when it does do these like little bumps, we've always been like, oh, nice, going well. So when it goes from like 1 million to 2 million, whether that be on TikTok or whatever, for us, it's because it's still following that trend. We've always been like, oh yeah. And you don't really conceptualize it as that's 1 million more people.
Right.
So for everyone else,
Is TikTok your most subscribers?
yes, we've got
for sure,
7 million, like
Do you post
7.6
how
maybe.
many clips per episode do you guys post up there?
about 4 or 5.
When we were talking about like having people write in and do stuff and all the extra logistics, to me that doesn't take priority over clips. I've been working on like I got to do more clips, but it's tough to do. I mean, we have a little bit of a team here. I'm looking to get more people to help, but it's tough to do that. And I know I want to get more consistent clips, and then the next thing I want to do is people writing in questions.
Okay.
But have you noticed that clips really helped you guys?
100%.
It's everything.
And it brings people from TikTok to your YouTube.
Yeah. If you're trustworthy,
Yeah.
like it's good. Like having
Trustworthy.
so like we found that having like a catalog,
Pardon me, I always check because sometimes they turn off. Go ahead.
having like a trustworthy catalog of clips is what does it, as opposed to just having like one slapper. So like we found like people will binge our TikTok before they come over to YouTube. So some people don't even know we have a full length podcast.
Yeah.
They just think we're TikTok
TikTokers,
guys.
yeah.
But when you get to a certain magnitude, it makes the difference. And then you'll find that so many comments would be like, I've literally watched every one of your TikToks. So now I'm here on YouTube and I'm like here for life. And then after a few months, they'll even come over to Patreon and stuff like that. So I would say like when we've had times before, we would have one clip hit like 20 million views or whatever on TikTok, and you're like, okay, YouTube subs are coming, and they just never come. Yeah. Because it's like you're not trustworthy yet. You're just a guy who made one good clip. Yeah. I'm not gonna give you an hour of my day. Right. But once they've gone through your entire page and they're like, oh, these guys hit every time, then they'll come over.
Yeah, that's a really big growth to go. Like I saw you guys got the million subscriber plaque, and it's just like, sometimes I get real inside podcasts. A lot of times I intentionally don't. And I don't want to get too much into the behind the scenes of it, but like for people that don't podcast, this is such a commitment. What we like,
gosh,
it's such a commitment. It's not just the hour or two once a week.
It's everything around that.
It's everything around it.
Yeah.
And there's the production side of it, which you guys obviously have some good help with now, and I do too. Shout out to JonMichael and Tom and Matt. But like, it's like every time I travel, it's with equipment and you finding guests and blah, blah, blah. And it's like such a big thing. And there's something to not seeking outside validation because of how unsustainable it is, but also to recognize that like how overwhelming it is. And to get 1 million YouTube subscribers on long form content and to be doing, is it an arena? I mean, it's a theme.
It's
an
an
arena, right?
Yeah, it's an arena, yeah.
That's from this thing that you guys just built.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get a little like, I don't want to, I'm getting burnt out and blah, 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 blah. The two things I think, or remember I'm grateful for, is opportunities to meet people that I wouldn't have long conversations with and or develop friendships that were more acquaintances. And then also like, sometimes I just look through all the thumbnails and like, it's like, they're like trophies. Like, look at what I've done. I'm so proud of myself from it. Could you tell me some feelings that you guys have?
Oh man. So the other day right now we're on like episode 330 something.
Yeah. We got 339.
Yeah.
341, something like that.
So you do more than one a week?
We do
one YouTube and one on Patreon.
But the 300 isn't 300 publics. It's total.
Total, yeah. Yes,
Right.
total. And then I said the other day, like, imagine if we just sat here and counted to 330, like 1, 2.
How long that would
3.
take? Yeah.
It's gonna take all day, and these are like hour
Take
long.
5 minutes. But I get what you're saying.
But it's taken a long time. Prospectively, it will take a very long time to get there. So it's like that we've done that with like hour long episodes and long conversations. That's like a crazy achievement. So that was one thing that we were thinking about the other day.
What about when people like see you and are fans of yours? How does that feel? And does it bother you yet? Or do you only like it?
Oh no, it's love. We obviously understand the fact that they're showing us appreciation, and it's weird because they see us or listen to us on a weekly, daily, monthly basis, and they feel like they know us. So when they see
isn't that
us,
weird?
it is very weird. But it's also understandable.
With no judgment to that, because
it's also
they get it.
understandable.
But
Yeah. So when they see us, it's a kind of like they're expecting to see the guys they see on camera, because at the end of the day, we just try and make each other laugh.
Right.
And so maybe sometimes when they don't get a James and Fuhad reaction, it's like, oh, we're just human beings, but we also love the love, and we also like take pictures and say, oh, thank you, we appreciate your love, we appreciate your support, and yeah.
Do you get uncomfortable when they ask you for a picture or something? Like, does that make you cringe?
No, not at all.
Well, I just meant because people asking
me?
for stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially like certain people. We've had a couple of times where people will be like, "Can I take a picture of you?" They don't even want to be in the picture.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I said when people say that to me, I mean, of course not. I'll take one with you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Stuff like that's crazy.
yeah.
But I do.
That's such a weird thing to ask.
100%.
And I don't even think it's weird.
That's weird.
It's crazy that they don't think it's weird.
Yeah. When I take a picture of somebody's dog because I want to send it to my girlfriend or something, I'll ask if I could take a picture of the dog, and I'll say I won't get you in it.
Yeah.
Just say, let me take a picture. Yeah, that's such an odd thing.
Yeah, and they just want you to like stand there like.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but what about when they ask to take it with you?
Yeah, I don't get as uncomfortable anymore. But the one thing I do get uncomfortable with is, I guess again, is the kind of awkwardness is.
I think I know what you're going to say.
What?
Can I guess?
Go on.
You could tell they want to get a picture with you, but they're not asking.
That?
Yeah.
The one that trumps that for me at the minute is people saying, I recognize you from somewhere.
And you don't want to have to tell them what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sounds like an ego thing.
It's horrible for me. I like, it causes me physical pain. And I'm like,
Same.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really?
Is it? But you know where they know you.
Yeah, for sure. But I can't jump in there and be like, you know me from here. And they're like, no. Or they could be like, yeah. And I also don't like.
I do connect with that one.
Yeah, I hate it. And it's just also.
Because it feels like they're forcing you to boast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I've got into the habit of saying, I'm not going to. My go to now is me saying, I'm not going to do this for you. So, like, if you've got the courage to start the sentence, you're going to have to, like, see it through.
Yeah.
So now if they ask me and say, oh, I know you from somewhere, I'll say,
just sit there and wait.
Yeah, I'll say, I'm not going to do this for you, bro. Let's get there. And then.
I'll be like, oh, swear, where's
and
that
then
from?
immediately like, yeah, you're James from ShxtsNGigs. And I'm like, oh, wow.
So you do
got
that?
there fast.
What if you did tell them? How would that make you feel?
I'd feel
cringed.
I'd feel dirty.
Yeah.
Would you feel that they thought you were, or you would just?
I would just feel that regardless of whatever they thought.
Yeah, regardless of what it is, if I was right or wrong, I would feel filthy.
If you saw me on the street and recognized me and wasn't sure what it was from, and you wanted to know, you just wouldn't ask.
Nope. I'd get on my day. I'd probably see you, squint, and be like,
is that where do I know him from? I just
where do
keep.
I know that guy from? I'm pretty sure it's like.
What if you did do it? Play this with me for a second.
All right,
I want to
cool.
show you how I would respond.
I'm pretty sure that's.
He looks familiar though.
He does look familiar. I've seen him.
Where do you think you've seen him? Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
Are you guys doing a comedy bit right now?
no, we're trying to figure out where
we're
we're
just
from.
role playing.
Oh, I'm gonna call time out.
Yeah.
I was in it.
Yeah, he was in.
If I were this close to you and you guys, where is he from? Yeah, I don't know. You know, like, and I could hear you.
Realistically, that wouldn't happen.
I'm saying, do it real. Do it real.
Oh, do it real?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think you forgot.
Right.
Drama acting. Do it for real. We're on. You was at a restaurant and you're at a table one away from me, and I'm just enjoying the
One away.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
This far away.
This far away.
We're this far
Okay.
away.
Cool.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I'm sure this is uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. It feels like you're talking about me. You're trying to. Are you talking about me? Because
Bro, I'm sorry. I am talking about you. I recognize you from somewhere. I actually don't know where it is, so that I wasn't going to interrupt your dinner and put you through that. So I apologize. I wasn't being.
Don't worry about it. Understood. I get it all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where do people recognize you from?
Excuse me?
Sorry, where do people recognize you from?
I don't do that.
You don't do what? Sorry?
I'm not going to do that for you.
You're not going to do it for me?
I'm not going to do that for you.
Well, buddy, I was minding my business and you interrupted our lunch. So I don't want to be that guy now, but...
Be what guy?
The guy who kind of like criticizes
yeah.
you for taking action on your awkwardness. We were trying to be like super polite and not interrupt you.
I understand. But I saw you pointing at me and talking. I don't think that's necessarily rude, but it's silly to not acknowledge. If somebody's going, it's like I'm here. I can see you doing it. So that's the only reason I brought it up.
Yeah. You did, and then you acknowledged it, and we apologized, and I thought it was done. But then you said you get it all the time.
I do.
So
yeah. Because I'm in so many different things.
Like what? That's what we're trying to recollect.
So let's just squash it, and then you can just tell us.
Not a problem. Maybe you recognize me from my podcast, Take Your Shoes Off.
That's not it.
As We See It, Amazon Prime. Not Dead Yet, ABC. NBC's Undateable. Futile and Stupid Gesture, Netflix.
No.
Daily Show.
Maybe.
Do you watch The Daily Show? Backwards, Trevor Noah was still on.
Maybe.
I Am Phenomenal. Have you seen that YouTube video, I Am Phenomenal, with the sixth lead?
No.
Maybe we don't recognize it.
Maybe
we thought you were somewhere else.
Fam, I'm sorry. Maybe we don't recognize you.
That's just why I said I didn't want to do this. It's just because it puts me in such an uncomfortable position to have to list my credits and you guys tell me if you've seen it or not.
Exactly. Which is why we wanted to do that. Because if we didn't figure it out, then we would have just like left you unscathed.
And just kept on going with our day.
I think I might know what it is.
What?
No Country for Old Men.
Dude, are you Daniel Day-Lewis?
Yes.
Can I ask you two random questions? Very, very, very off topic.
Yeah.
Did you do that Rubik's Cube yourself?
Yeah.
Well played.
Well played.
Yeah.
Another random question. What does that black family ornament mean to you?
It's interesting that you ask, and I will tell you what it means to me. But the reason I have it isn't because what it means to me.
Okay.
It's because what it means to you guys. And I got that because you two were coming on and I wanted to make you comfortable.
Interesting.
Now it's made me feel more
very
uncomfortable. I didn't even notice it.
Yeah.
I noticed it like 30 minutes ago.
This is the two of you and that's me. And I was wanting you guys to help hold me up during this podcast.
Oh.
That's why my back hurts. It's not the couch.
Mm-hmm. That is it's a black family for the
Noted.
audio only people.
Okay.
And I grew up playing with action figures.
Okay.
Of all different colors, mostly green.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. Still am, I guess. And Terminators and X-Men's and black characters and white characters and Asian characters, but mostly those three, if not Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with no prejudice because of that.
Okay.
Because the action figures.
I don't know if it's because of them, but it brought awareness to me when I would be playing with these things in bubbles. It didn't matter what color the skin they were, as long as these legs would split well, so you could hold them by their head and spin them around so they could kick people.
For sure.
Right?
Okay.
So I just think it's important that everybody gets a doll or a figure or a poster of somebody of a different race to help. Because when people are watching this, they're just seeing a charming, witty white guy. Mm-hmm. Add that to the list. Look, we got another one.
Yeah.
Another funny.
So that sets you apart is what you're saying.
It's not about setting me apart. It's about you.
Inclusivity.
Yeah.
I finished your sentence.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
Yes, dude. Well done.
And you know what? We both come from different places. You're first generation English. I'm not even a generation English. You're black. I'm not even English.
Nice. Thanks.
Do you guys experience prejudice?
Pause. Bro, well done. That callback, finishing sentence, that's unlike you. That was really clean.
How is that unlike him? He doesn't do that?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah. Fuck. That's so sick. And you kept your cool when you said it as well. Oh my God. if we're going back and forth, and then someone says something, it could be like a callback, like you did earlier, or something that's like super, super quick, and it lands like just perfect. I lose my mind.
But also, I got this for a friend of mine.
Or a friend.
I got it for a friend of mine. I don't know why. I almost said something I think would have revealed something that I didn't want to. But I got this for a friend of mine as a gift. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. You have to believe that was an accident.
Hey, man.
Sorry. And I thought he would think it was funny. I don't know why. It just kind of looks like him a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
And
I'll take it you didn't find it funny, so you've kept it.
no. It just, this kind of looks like him.
Okay.
And then I just had this thing and I just put it there and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Fair.
There's something about it that is, and now I don't know, I want to find it on my Discord. There's somebody who found this online and has one and has it like, I have these trading cards, they're right there, these superhero cards.
Okay.
And he has these cards and this thing, he has like a little take your shoes off shelf. And it's just like, that's real.
Oh,
I would
okay.
love if I could find these and sell these as merch.
Oh, wow.
Sick.
Damn, nice.
It's just kind of, it's literally has become like a part of the podcast in a way.
That's cool.
Have you named them?
It's not for me to do. It's I wouldn't feel right, but you can.
I'm not comfortable doing that.
I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I love it. I genuinely love it.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah. And I just think it's important.
To be inclusive?
Mm-hmm.
Noted.
So like, take for example, the momentum that just happened here.
Mm-hmm.
When we were talking about that thing.
Mm-hmm.
We were riding a wave and went down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Old Rick, like when I first started this podcast, would want to edit that out.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Pacing.
Okay.
But I think those moments of like disconnect to reconnect are really, really important.
I agree. I like tangents.
Yeah. And I like natural end of conversation is decent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I watch or listen to podcasts, and I get it. In fact, I think it's even a good idea. I see people editing for pacing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I think that's a great idea. I think this podcast would do better with that.
Mm.
By better, I mean more people would be interested in watching.
Okay.
Just for retention purposes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People, I do podcasts that are 2 hours long and they cut it down to just 45 minutes to an hour 15.
Damn, that sounds like it slaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think a lot of my audience are people that have difficulty, relatively speaking, navigating social interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, I don't know. I learn a lot from watching and sitting in it. But like, I also want to keep doing bits with you guys.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it too.
One thing that we do, because we have like a lot of ebbs and flows with conversation, and we think it's important, and it is like natural and it's nice.
And you keep them in?
We keep them in, but what we do is sometimes restructure the episode. So if we want
editing?
Yeah, so in post we want to, if we're concerned about retention of the episode, we'll just take one of the juicy bits, move it to the front.
I do that sometimes, not for that reason, but like a cold open.
Yeah,
to kind of, if there's something really fun to kind of define it for people.
Yeah, exactly.
So you only do that if you feel the opening slow.
Not necessarily if the opening's slow, but like if we sometimes, like for example, because we are so, what we found is because we are so reliant on clips, not so reliant on clips, but we post so many clips.
They benefit you so much.
They benefit us so much. What we were finding is that it's frustrating for people when like we have like certain segments or certain parts that are like the most popular part of the episode. And that because we do repeat segments, we know which are the most popular part. A lot of the time we were doing the most popular part towards the end of the show.
Right.
So it's like people are watching like an hour of this before they even get to the reason.
Also, even if you record it at the end, you'll move it earlier.
Yeah. So even if we record it at the end, sometimes we'll go.
Do you make it look like it happened in order though? Or is it like previously on?
No, so we do so we do a like a grayscale version at the like juiciest bit. So like a black and white.
Literally grayscale.
Yeah, like a black and white, like coming up bit, and that's the juicy bit. But then the actual structure of the actual show, sometimes we'll take a bit that we actually record at the end, move it to the beginning, have the introduction, the way we introduced it properly, then cuts to a segment that was really, really funny, and then again, retention is in, and then people are more.
Do you guys focus a lot on that? Would you look at the analytics?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The big podcast or big YouTube people do that. I have not
mastered that yet.
I don't even know if I've even gone to school for it yet, let alone mastered it.
Sometimes it's
Titles, thumbnails.
we don't focus too much on titles and thumbnails. We kind of pick our battles, but like there are certain bits where like it's not all the time, but like every 3 months we'll be like, how can we make this better?
Just a revamp.
Yeah, just a revamp. How can
Give
we
me an
make this
example of something that you decided you could make better.
So one thing that we decided we could make better was
I think it's also timing. Like there are times where we had a previous thumbnail like a year and a half ago, and we're like, it's due for a change.
yeah. So we do styles of thumbnails
Yeah.
instead of like a brand new thumbnail every week. We just have like a certain like aesthetic.
Yeah,
for our
it's a
thumbnails.
template for 20 episodes or 50
Yeah.
episodes.
So then we just change it, revamp it, and then like other stuff where I repeat myself a lot, and we always used to leave it in. So we could be talking about a subject, and I would just reiterate the same point over and over again, not even consciously, just do it over and
Chris
over
Rock
again.
does that on purpose.
Oh, really?
Talks about how like when there's a premise, keep repeating the premise, keep repeating the premise. He thinks that helps the punchline hit harder.
A lot of comedians have great jokes and they don't like, why isn't this working? It's not working because the audience does not understand the premise.
That's right.
So I just like, I'm going to make sure if I set this premise up right, this joke will always work.
That just made me think of that. Unrelated, that's stand
Oh,
up.
okay. Fair play. But yeah, I think it does do well to do that sometimes. But what my point would be is like, I just do it to fill the void.
So you edit them out like people would edit out ums.
Yeah, exactly. So we edit those. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, that stuff, that's pacing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're very conscious of pacing, structure.
I think that
That's it,
I
really.
should do that. I think we should do that. We're not going to, I don't think.
Why not?
It's not always necessary.
No, I don't think I don't think it's I would never want to do it if it takes the context away from what it is. Like if something ends up getting a little weird, I wouldn't want to take out what made it weird, and I wouldn't want to take out the weird. Because then after weird, then we're taking out the resolve. So like how do you do that? So I don't want to necessarily recontextualize, but if it doesn't set something up, get a laugh, or it's not or interesting.
serve a purpose.
So when I first started this podcast, originally it was because I have very funny friends and I wanted to just film us being funny. At the time I lived in the same building with 3 of my best friends. We had our own places and just come over and let's just film us laughing and getting high or whatever for an hour or two and then just cut it down to like a funny 5-10 minutes.
Okay.
And then it just became a podcast. And I didn't do that. But like I still like, I mean, I guess that's what clips are. But yeah, just like,
Short
I
bursts.
feel like I should, but yeah, I don't know.
It depends. Like what? It depends what your audience use your podcast for. Because podcasts a lot of time like are for. Again, if you do overproduce it, it's actually very like. It does. How do I say this? It does give the impression that
Loses authenticity.
a little bit. So like. You chop it all up and we just want bangers, 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 bangers. And it's
Like
like
MASH.
nice.
I was waiting for that.
English reference. Yeah.
Let's
I
go.
set it up like
Chris Rock.
yes, dude. We're cooking in. Yeah. So like, it's very
I never saw you looking like Drake until you just did that. Now
Oh,
I can't
really?
unsee it.
I get it all the time.
Yeah. You ever get it when you're shaved?
I did when I was shaved. Me and Drake also were very similar timelines as when we got beards as well. So it just continues.
Is that what this means?
I guess.
I used to get Drake.
Really?
Probably not as much as you.
Co Malfoy.
No. While he was a music star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to see a side by side picture?
Not yet.
I
was asking the audience. We're gonna put it up.
All right. Bet.
Okay. Put it up.
You got good teeth.
Thank you. My top row.
Oh, okay. Not awful.
They're not awful at all.
Says the Brits.
Dude. Whoa.
It's kind of a cliche, right?
A little bit.
Well, that Brits have bad teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Cartoons.
was I?
Cartoons made fun of that a lot when I was growing up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, where were you actually?
Where was I? Oh, I was talking about self-indulgence.
Were you?
Overproducing,
Okay, yes.
overproducing the podcast to make it just
For example, we could have taken on all that stuff.
Yeah.
for sure.
You know?
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
not going to.
Yeah.
People would have been, oh, okay, we get to hear the thing.
Exactly. And it's just like, what purpose does your podcast serve? Like, people use podcasts as like a respite from like real world. So
What purpose does your podcast serve?
exactly that. So it's like it is produced to a certain, we have segments and stuff, but sometimes we're happy for like, we could just have like one topic. And even though we have like a structure written down, sometimes it's one topic we'll be talking about for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll be like, oh, that's just a show. Here we go.
Right.
As opposed to being like, no. Like,
we have to
we have to do this,
thing, blah, 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 yeah.
because this is what's hitting. And then
Hitting for the audience or for you guys?
exactly. So that's what I was going to say. Like, if you thought that you should go and like chop it because you want like funny. At that point, it's like, who's this for?
Yeah, well, it's not, I get what you're saying, but it's not specifically funny. It's just engaging, interesting, funny, purposeful. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think it makes a better product.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm like, we're hot on it.
Yeah.
But it is about figuring out what's like, I guess, objectively good, and then like subjectively what you think makes a good show.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just all so hard. Because really, I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I didn't love being able to have conversations with people. And I'm using this as an excuse to not add to my workload. But like, I'm just doing this. I want to enjoy this, and then do you guys like what I enjoyed and what hopefully the guest enjoyed? But as it's getting to a point now where efficiency is really a thing. Getting clips out, keeping momentum, etc. And I'm at a place, or I've been for a little bit now, of like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? Am I like, come, let's do this thing. It is what it is. Or am I going to try and find the science of it? And it does seem like the most successful people have a science to it. Seeing, like, what your most popular segments are.
Yeah.
Were you doing those things?
Yeah.
And like, I've been wanting to do segments. I remember there was a time I wrote a whole bunch of jingles for segments. I didn't even know what they were going to be. I just wanted to do segments.
Yeah.
Before I started this, it was just going to be the segments podcast, basically. And each segment, and it would be so easy to edit, because if the segment doesn't work, take it out. And then just piece it together. And it's, and had little fun jingles, just that I grew up watching late night and just having those fun, you have late night. I mean, but you guys are more like panel shows.
Yeah.
We do have late nights as well. Yeah.
I'm forgetting his name. Is my favorite. I watch him more than any American ones, and I'm forgetting his name.
Jonathan Ross. We're talking panels?
No,
late nights.
Yeah,
Jonathan Ross, Graham Norton.
Love Graham Norton.
Yeah,
love Graham Norton.
Graham Norton was awesome.
Yeah, and in those they have conversation. There's little games.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But that feels like if I had a producer, I would want to collaborate with them. We're getting inside stuff. We don't need to get into this now.
Yeah,
cool.
It's true. But I like your podcast how it is.
Thank you.
I've listened to it a few times. I like it. I think it's good.
I love it too. I do. It's just like hearing you guys talking about like having the people doing and the segments and the this and we know these things work. It's inspiring. It's like, that's
thanks.
fun.
It is fun.
Just play. You're literally, it's board game. It's not board games, but it's like you're playing games with your friend.
Yeah.
I want to have more games on this podcast.
Games are fun.
They are very fun.
Do you guys smoke weed?
Oh,
I do.
You do.
That if it's a weed episode, that is the exception. My favorite thing.
I can imagine.
It's getting high with somebody and just doing bits that you get to animate later and just fucking. Do you drink? Are you sober?
No, I drink. Rarely, but we used to drink a lot on our podcast.
On the show, yeah, back in the day,
and
we
then
did. Yeah.
some of the funniest stories we've ever done were when we were drinking. It was so fun.
Yeah, I don't
fun.
really drink, and it seems when I hear guys talk about drinking with each other, there is something about like it does feel like, oh, you guys are buddies getting drunk.
It was cool. It took its toll though.
It did.
We had to stop.
Yeah.
Whiskey Ginger, do you know that podcast? Andrew Santino.
Santino's podcast, yeah.
Yeah, it started off. I guess I know he doesn't drink all the time now, but it started off. The whole thing was you're drinking whiskey and you're talking.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else? Is there anything else you guys want to like? We have to wrap it up within the next 10, 15. You guys could also go now. But is there anything else like you want to promote, talk about?
Promotion? No.
We don't really do promotion. We're just grateful to be here.
Yeah.
So thank you for having us.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
It's gone from lukewarm to hot.
Hey.
How? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. One, I've understood because I've, no offense, never watched your podcast before. But I've started to understand who you are as a person and your character and how you come across, and it's very fun.
with the awareness of the self-indulgence, but deciding it's worth it anyway, could you give me any, if I have a guest that's coming on that's similar to you with perspective and or lack of knowing me at all, and you were to say, if they were to say, hey, could you give me a little advice? Like, could you explain so I could better understand Rick? Is there anything that like, does the question make sense?
The question does make sense. I just personally think I would just say be yourself. Like if I'm telling James, for example, James has never been on your show, never listened to you before, I would say to James, just be yourself. You will learn to love him.
Is there anything I could do in the first 2 minutes? There's a show called, I'm forgetting what it's called, an autistic show, the Australian one, the 2 seasons in Australia, one here.
Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah. They do a device when they introduce the characters of, they go, this is such and such. And they like, butterflies and dinosaurs and bowling. They don't like loud noises and the smell of honey, like some like specific shit.
Okay.
And in it, they also like, they'll do B-roll of like bees around a honeycomb or something. And it's just a way of like meeting that person. Like in a script, they would be like blah, blah, blah. And I did think it would be a fun thing to do as a segment when I meet guests, so like to do that thing with them. But it would also be a way of saying like, here's a little of me, here's a little of you. I'm now wondering, like, I wonder if it's worth like having people write up, giving them homework, I guess, but like write a paragraph of explaining yourself. And I have one that they read.
Okay, cool. I think that's a good idea.
I don't think that would translate for a lot of people though.
I don't
personally.
Well, I would give them mine. I would email them or text them mine to read beforehand to give them an idea of what it looks like.
Okay.
They write theirs, and then when they come on, they already have read mine, so they understand the exercise.
Like
Yes, but also I could say, I have OCD, so I'm a little bit weird with this stuff. I do a lot of jokes where you might not know. You could always ask me. I'm not going to lie to you. Like whatever the things to feel the water. But then they come on, and then the opening is like, let's get to know them. They have this thing.
I think that's cute. I like it.
Fair.
Especially with the template before, so they know where they're going from.
Literally, I was about to say, as long as you send it first, and they get an understanding. Like, okay, it's easy for me to then say my truth. Then
and also things not just where they're from, but like I get embarrassed asking people questions, asking people for help, or like vulnerable enough things. I actually love that idea.
I think it's really, really good.
I think I might try that.
Let's go. We'll see how it goes.
Then you have to have people who are willing to do that, and
you
trial and error.
You invite friends on, right?
Yeah. But it benefit me the most if it like
strangers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm saying just like baby steps and stuff.
But what inspired that was like, oh, if I had a way of giving you something, would I have been able to get you warmer sooner? And is that even necessary? But like,
I liked it this way. Pause. It was very organic.
I really like this idea though.
I think you should do it.
Yeah, that could also be like a cool to put in the description. Like basically I'm asking them to write their own bio, but not credits.
Yeah, for sure. And it also like it helps the listeners as well.
Right.
As well as helping yourself. And I think it would help warm faster. And we do this thing on our show. This is another thing as well. We do this thing in our show where we when we have a guest, we do a very like over the top introduction. Where
camera zooms.
Not even just like camera, just like
just
me introducing them of all the nice things that I think about them. Even if I don't know them very well.
Do you make them up or are they real nice
things?
Things?
They're real.
No, they're real.
Yeah. I try
if you're introducing a comedian on stage, it's just like hyping them up.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. But like I'll go into like depth about like I only met this person once, but the time I did meet them, this is exactly what they did. And like it can take
and how it made me feel.
2 minutes,
blah,
10
blah,
minutes
blah,
to take whatever. And I just like throw all the nice things.
Is the guest there?
Yes, the guest is there.
Yeah. And they just kind of sit there in silence. And then, but it warms it really, really, really well. And I think if I was here reading my own profile to you and seeing your authentic reaction to how I see myself, I think like we would create a bond before the conversations even started.
I love it. I want to pitch something. I don't know. When you do it, what's the camera like? Are you on a 3-shot? Is it on you talking?
It's just on him talking.
It's just on me talking.
When he does the intro.
As soon as I'm finished, and we give
pans
it
to them.
Do you have camera operators or is it on just static?
Static.
I have a pitch. It would be you always do that intro.
He does, yeah.
Then you wouldn't be on camera, and be where the sticks are on you when you're first starting off, and then because panning is different than cutting to it. pan over to the guest 3 seconds in and just push in on the guest hearing that stuff about themselves and just seeing
their reaction.
seeing if they're smiling, if they're uncomfortable. You know, when you're singing happy birthday to somebody, some people are into it and some people are looking down.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
But I like seeing, I would want to see the guest hearing the things as opposed to you saying.
That is a good idea.
I like it.
Also, you don't have to do that, but there's something dramatic about it.
No, I like it a lot. I think that's a good idea.
This is nice.
This was really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for
thank you for doing this. This
Honestly.
was I feel really nice right now.
Good.
I also think what you said at the end about the Luke to getting warmer and me just being reminded of just because I know me doesn't mean you do, which is an obvious statement maybe, but that's not intuitive unless I remind myself. And just like there are still more tools to learn, whether it's a device for a podcast of writing this thing or just checking in with people. But I don't know. I think I'm just feeling a little emotional these days. But thank you.
Thank you. Will
for
you come
coming
on ours
over.
if you come to London?
Yeah. I don't know when I'm next in London unless I have shows. But I'll hit you up when I know I have shows.
Please do.
I'll definitely.
Yeah, we'd love to see them.
I'll definitely come to a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a fan now.
Are you guys ever going to come here again? I mean, you're doing a tour here.
Next year. We'll be here next year.
Come back on.
Yeah, please.
100% we will. 100%
Sick.
we will,
Yeah.
Rick, I'm genuinely a fan now.
All right, good.
I don't say that lightly. I'm genuinely a fan now.
Yeah. Fun. I got a couple of English friends now.
Yeah, bro.
I really like your style, man.
Gassed.
Oh, cool.
I really like your style. I'm not gonna lie.
He doesn't do this.
I don't do this. I really like your style, bro.
Hey, you know what? I think I just found our cold open theme music.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.